Oh my goodness. It is officially spooky month. I even have my decorations set up this time. I really like this time of the year. It gets cooler, the atmosphere is nice, and most importantly, Halloween is really freaking cool. Plus, this is whenever people like doing spooky themed stuff, which is generally more interesting to me over normal stuff. Here's the thing though, I don't have much material to work with, hence why I'm inconsistent on whether or not I actually do Halloween videos. This year was going to be a similar case, so I might still get this out late, but I ended up having a good idea. Since I like spooky stuff so much, why not just talk about spooky stuff in video games? But what exactly can I talk about? See, I haven't played that many horror games, so that obviously means that there's nothing I could talk about, right? I love it when games get spooky or have aspects that make them creepy, intentional or not. Fear is an emotion like no other, and there's several different forms it can take. Anything can seem scary to anybody, it just depends on the person. I wouldn't be surprised if someone got scared of that apple from earlier. Hey wait, where'd it go? Anyway, this gives way to all sorts of spooky experiences, ones that I really love hearing about. It's way more interesting to hear why somebody finds something disturbing or scary over hearing about why it's good or bad. There's just so much more variety. Now, I've got some epic personal stories I want to tell, and at the same time, I'll look at what made certain things scary to other people. Oh man. Okay, so I feel it's better to start off simple and just talk about some random spooky experiences I've had with games. A lot of this comes from whenever I was just an ittle bittle luggo, but there's just as many more recent stories to be told too. When I was a kid, there were plenty of things that scared me, and of course, getting into gaming really opened the door to all sorts of horrors I could be exposed to. I'm going to say this a lot, but I don't play many horror games, yet I really like it when games do get scary. It's a completely different experience unlike anything else the game will try to offer up, and it's usually unexpected as well. But of course, when you're a kid, things that aren't even intended to be scary can end up being scary anyway. Case in point,
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Now, you might be wondering, Logo, what are you saying? Do you think Mario 64 is a scary game for little kids? My response to that is, are you implying it's not? The game tells a horrifying story about people getting trapped in paintings. It's the darkest story ever told, bar none. No, I'll let the video essayists take care of that topic. The game as a whole isn't scary, it's just that there are a lot of things in it that children would probably be afraid of. More recently, I've seen a ton of people talk about how they find Wet Dry World incredibly unnerving. At surface level, there's nothing all that scary about it, unless if you have a fear of levels that aren't good. But whenever this is called creepy, they're not referring to anything ordinary. They're talking about the skybox. Watch out, Spade is going to get you! As for a more classic scary thing, well, we all know what it is. Oh, can the eel come out to play? No, the eel cannot come out to play. The eel can instead reevaluate his life and actually contribute to society by jumping in a meat grinder so he can turn into something useful. Oh, but how about I tell you about something personal? One of the first few days I had 64DS, I was playing really late at night. Everyone else in my family was asleep. Anyway, I see the boo in one of the halls that you're supposed to chase into the courtyard. Once I get out there, I decide to swallow one of them since I was playing as Yoshi. I don't remember exactly what the boo says, but it's something along the lines of, bro, you're kinda stupid. I mean, you literally just ate a ghost, idiot. And at that point, I got scared and ran away. I wasn't bothered at all by the boo until he mentioned that he was a ghost, but whenever he did say that, I skedaddled. And looking back on it now, it's actually pretty funny and pathetic on my part. But I've gotta wonder, what really made all this stuff so scary to me and several other people who played this game in their childhood? Well, for me personally, I might know the answer. Mario 64 DS really taught me what games could be, since I was very young when I played it. It was very influential on my childhood. It's such a huge game to a child, so of course, they're bound to find something that they don't understand, something that creeps them out. Probably the same reason why people keep talking about Spain in the frickin' sky. When you're a kid, you'll be so confused as to why that's a skybox instead of a normal sky. The image of a city being in a sky is just ominous to begin with. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be one to talk. I personally don't find it all that creepy, but I can understand why some would. It just doesn't make any sense. And as you know, nobody likes it when things don't make sense. Another game that was scary to me years later was Minecraft. Minecraft doesn't really bother me nowadays, but back in the day, this was practically a horror game. I remember the very first time I turned off peaceful mode. Man, I was in for the rudest awakening known to mankind. There's some sort of eeriness to Minecraft that can make for unsettling experiences. Nighttime was always scary as a kid because of how threatening the mobs could be. Okay, well, a lot of the standard enemies aren't that bad, but I still wouldn't want any of these things to get near me in the pitch black darkness. And of course, the Enderman. These things were terrifying. My first encounter with one was actually in the middle of the day where it disappeared right before my eyes. I hate knowing that it's somewhere, but not knowing whether or not it's after me. And the screeches they make are like shredder noises from hell. Though I'ma be honest, the real reason they're scary, it's probably 'cause they're tall. Anyways, I've always liked the more creepy side of Minecraft. The game is still unnerving to this very day. In a recent world I did, there was a part of my house that was poorly lit, and a baby zombie came out of the room, got on my pet pig, and started attacking me while I was looking in my chest. A similar experience happened recently, but this time, it was with a creeper. This creepy atmosphere paved the way for so many fun, spooky stories to be told. And of course, it also led to a legendary rumor. Nowadays, video game rumors are pretty lame and serve as false leak fodder, but back in the good old days of Not Now, rumors were very epic. They would mention things hidden away in games that you could uncover through unconventional methods. Sure, nowadays saying Waluigi is in Mario 64 DS will probably land you in a special ed class, but back in 2006 and stuff, it made these already big wonderlands full of secrets seem like there were even more things to discover. Though, this wasn't always fun in games, no. Let's get back to Minecraft. I'm pretty sure you know where this is going. For a long time, there was a rumor going around about a mysterious character named Herobrine. If you somehow don't know who he is, then you probably have had a pretty lame childhood. Basically, he was Minecraft's boogeyman. He was said to stalk players all alone in their survival worlds, build strange structures, and overall, be really creepy. I could make a whole video talking about him, but for the sake of brevity, I'll just say that if the game wasn't unnerving enough, then that would definitely put a kid on edge. Of course, he wasn't real, though it would be cool to actually see him in the game, even though some modders have tried implementing these ideas into the game with minimal success. Before we move on, I'd like to take time to appreciate how the developers have acknowledged that their game can be scary to some people, and how they're trying to bring that back for the next update. Seriously, the Warden looks horrifying and is a very welcome addition to the game. Though I really don't care about most of the stuff that's being added in the next update, but exploring these grand new caves with this demented fast food mascot reject wandering around will make for some new terrifying experiences. Everybody bopping till cave1.ogg plays. It's pretty funny that I simultaneously love getting scared and hate getting scared. I hate it because I get super tense and I don't handle horror situations very well, but at the same time, I love it because being scared is an experience unlike any other. Though being scared can be a negative experience, even traumatic in certain circumstances, getting scared in a video game is typically pretty positive in my eyes. Yeah, I haven't played a whole lot of horror games, so I can't be definitive on that. That's why I really like it when games get unexpectedly scary. In fact, I think a lot of people like that, because because they usually make for good sections in that particular game, while at the same time sticking out like no other moment and leaving a strong impact on you. For a quick example, in Mario Odyssey's Wooded Kingdom, there's an area mentioned in the brochure called the Deep Woods or something like that. I don't really care enough to look it up. Anyway, I remember trying to find it, and I did. I found myself in a deep, dark, unsettling part of the kingdom, and I wasn't alone.
Dinosaur, dinosaur, dinosaur.
Dinosaur! Dinosaur!
And a similar thing happened in a game I've been playing recently called Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. At the end of this one area, you fight a bear and get the power to transform into it, and it has the ability to do a ground pound. And I immediately thought to myself, hey, there was a butt crack in this frozen river earlier in the area. Maybe I should sit right there. And next thing you know, I was in a land of nightmares with very threatening enemies all over the place. Don't ask me how a crack in some ice leads here, it just does. Oh, and if that wasn't scary enough, there's a knockoff endless staircase here too. I just really like it when games get scary. Experiences like these are some of my favorites to talk about. You see, when I play a game nowadays, I don't just expect to have a fun time, but I also want something to take away from the whole package, a memorable experience, and moments in games like this fulfill that. And yeah, I don't play horror games, but moments like these in non-horror games really force me to dip my toes into that genre whenever I wouldn't otherwise. And remember, if you want to get someone to do something that'll probably scare them, you can't tell them that it's scary. And I really just like not knowing what I'm getting myself into. That's part of the reason why I like playing games that look interesting, so that I can find unique, memorable moments that I can talk about in videos such as this. It always serves as a good motivation for me to play through a game in its entirety, and of course, some of these memorable experiences can involve surreal and creepy things. Not knowing they're coming up and just seeing them pop up at some point is great, because on a repeat playthrough, you're going to see this stuff coming and not be bothered by it as much. This is where the fear of the unknown can take effect. Isn't that why some people found Minecraft so scary for a while? Isn't that why video game rumors can be ominous? Because you didn't know if they were true or not? I remember mentioning the Animal Crossing rumor surrounding Brutus in my video game rumors video, and I'm just wondering what it would have been like to play that game before that rumor had been debunked. As a quick refresher, the rumor stated that a character named Brutus could move into your town and wander around late at night, and doing horrible things if you encountered him, such as chopping down your trees, or even deleting your save file. Kinda reminds me of someone we were talking about earlier. Back when we didn't know so much about games, there was some kind of eerie atmosphere surrounding them. Now, it wasn't really anything major. I mean, I don't think someone would find it scary if Luigi was hiding somewhere in their Mario 64 cartridge, but I don't know. With all of the information we're supplied with today, a part of this odd sense of spookiness has been kinda lost. I guess it's a good thing, though, that there are still plenty of games out there that don't get so overexposed, so now every individual can uncover their secrets for themselves. And I'm always looking forward to finding new games, experiencing new things no matter how unnerving, and uncovering their secrets, sinister or not. And who knows? Maybe we don't know as much about these games as we think.